Hello, everybody, and welcome to your transformational toning intro. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you're here today, and it is really just this amazing honor and expansion for me to be able to be with you here in this way and play with you in this thing that's so joyful in my heart. And I can't wait to explore it with you together and to play together. So I was thinking about what it is that toning is for me, and what it feels like wants to come through for that. So it's like a bridge to an awareness of something that's always there for you, which is your absolute connection to source, to God, to the God being that you are. And then the toning becomes a way that it's almost like it brings that bridge into view and gives you a path to walk on to connect you to greater awareness of that in your experience of the God being that you are and of the source love that is. So like I was thinking about this too, when people look at toning, and maybe you look at a person like me and you think, oh, well, you're a singer, of course you tone, but I'm not a singer, or does that mean that's even for me? And it was really fun looking at that because I can feel that question that's out there for us. And there's this sense of that only, think about it, like a lot of times the way you experience singing around you is it's a performance, right? It's like a YouTube or it's a concert or it's somebody who does that professionally. And you don't necessarily just see people doing classes like you would a yoga class. Everybody gets together and there's a teacher, but everybody's doing it, right? And you don't have to be the person who's at the level of mastery to lead a class or be an ascended yogi master to do yoga. You get a tremendous benefit from yoga even if you only do it once. And everybody can participate right where they are in a way that's super beneficial for them and their practice and their bodies. And so toning's like that. And it falls in this place like where we are, think of it as performance, but it's actually more akin to meditation. And it's more akin to energetic activations that you create for yourself. And you just happen to be using your voice. So that's really sort of the place, the platform that we start from. Oh, and I realized we didn't give you any instructions. Let's give you instructions if you want to participate in the call. Ariana, you want to go over that? Are you there? Oh, she's muted. Okay, so I'll talk about that part. So if you want to raise your hand to ask a
Or do you
question.
want me to?
Oh yeah, go ahead. It'll be fun.
Sorry, so if you guys want to mute yourself, just press *6 on your phone. If you would like to unmute yourself, *7, and you might find if you go to speak, you actually are already muted, so press *7 to unmute, and *2 to raise your hand if you want to ask a question.
Awesome. It's just like all the other stuff. It's so familiar to most of us, which is really fun. Yeah, okay, cool. So toning is this exploration into our connection, an awareness of our connection with the God being that we are through sound. And feel into this for a minute. So everything is vibration, right? And at some level, every vibration actually is also a sound. And some of them are within the audible range, and almost all of them are in the non-audible range. Like if you look at the spectrum of audible sounds for our ears, and then all the sounds, at least that we can figure out thus far that exist, it's so far beyond that. So literally, your vibration is emanating a tone right now. You're already toning. It's already happening just because you're here and because you are the being that you are and because you are alive with the God love that you are. So you already are toning, which is kind of amazing. So if you just feel into that and maybe take a breath and tune into the tone of you. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. The room got kind of loud. So this is what I was tuning into this morning as I was meditating with you guys. And you showed yourselves to me like in terms of your sound vibration. And I was like, oh my God, listen to that. Everybody's already doing it and they're being it, right? And so it's like by using your voice, you give yourself a physical bridge and again, an awareness bridge to that which you already are, which is really, really cool. So that's one of the ways that we get to play with toning. Okay, so something that often comes up for people is, yeah, but I don't really know that anybody should hear my voice. Okay, so think about it this way. If you're a person who, say, wants to increase your, I don't know, flexibility and you want to stretch, you're probably not going to do it publicly and put it on YouTube and say, everybody watch me stretch. It's like you just get to do it for you, right? It's part of your private practice. We don't tend to make performance out of our meditation. We just simply do it. So one of the beautiful places to begin with toning is, oh my God, I get to do this for me. A, because I am it already. B, because it feels fantastic. And C, because it opens up all of this stuff and awareness that I get to then have and experience. And what are some of those awarenesses and the things that we gain through toning? Well, so here's a story. I have a client and she comes to my weekly Tuesday group here at my house, and she took a toning workshop that I did in person last year, and she said, when I do it sometimes, most of the time I feel like I wish I was doing it, I'm not, and it kind of falls into that should category. I know this is really good, and she said, I thought, to heck with it, I'm just going to sit down and make some sounds. And the reason she decided to do it was because she felt really tired, and she was super tired, and she was irritated and just out of sorts. And every time she'd sit down to meditate, she was super distracted in her mind. And so she thought, okay, I'll just try the toning. She said her entire day changed after that, because one of the things that toning does is it simply completely disengages your mind. You might think a little bit about the sound that's coming out, but if you give yourself to it, you actually can't really think about all the stuff you were thinking about. And that's one of the things, of course, that we look for an avenue into is, how do I quiet my mind? How do I get out of this little, mental hamster wheel that I'm on, or whatever? You can sit down, and it doesn't have to be, it can just be like a minute. It can be 15 seconds. And you make a sound and it feels amazing. So I think it would be actually really great to do that together. And it's funny because, it's already like, really? We're going to sing already? Yeah, let's do. And before we do, I want to give you just a couple of things to tune into. And I'll do a demonstration so you can see the difference in what I'm talking about. Because this is how toning becomes this bridge to your heart, to the expression of your heart, to the expression of anything in you that wants to clear, activate, heal, connect, expand, relax, anything. It becomes this connection to that. And I realized I used to think of toning, okay, there's so many places to go. Feel into your throat chakra for just a second and just notice it, and notice if it's like, does it feel open and clear and ready to make any sound that comes through? Is there some inhibition there? Is there some question of, I don't know if I should even do that? Kind of just feel the energy of what's there, and notice how much of that energy is coming from your head or your heart. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Okay, cool. So feel this for a second now. So that energy, any part of that was coming from your head, of what you're noticing in your throat chakra about all the stuff that comes up, if any did, maybe you're just like, oh, there's my throat chakra, and that's cool. Tune in now, instead of into your brain, into more of your third eye. So the energetic center of your head. Beautiful. And then connect that to your heart, with the throat being the bridge between the two. Feels really different, yeah? So for most of my life, my throat was the center of conflict between my head and my heart. And in that sense, it was completely facilitating me in that. It was like the most amazing facilitator. It just was super annoying and uncomfortable. So what's come in now is an awareness that, it's actually this bridge between our interdimensional knowing and the heart of God that we are. And it gets to then express that, which is really cool. So now back to that demonstration. I'm going to show you what it's like for me if I make a tone that I'm tuned into that. I'm primarily tuning in just to my heart center, but also to anything the guidance that wants to come through the third eye and the connection to everything that is. So here's what I would experience as a heart-centered tone, or a few tones. And now I'm going to give you a contrast with that when I do singing, which I did for years. thinking about it. And singing from the place of where I allowed that kind of conflict in my throat to really be reflective of the thinking that I'm doing in my head. Completely different, right? Like energetically, a completely different. I'm like, I want to stop. I don't want to do it anymore. It's a completely different energetic experience. So, this is what we're going to explore in toning is how to connect you with the sounds of your heart and to let those fly super free and be what you express and what you receive in the expression of you, like you receive yourself in that expression. So that's one of the directions we'll go. I'm going to stop for just a second and ask, do we have anybody who has a question? And again, looks like maybe we do. So hand raised, yeah. Let's see. It looks like Sarah Lynn. Is that you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I had this idea when you were talking about how everything has a tone.
Mm.
What if what we think is silence is actually the combined tones of everything that
is? That's super cool. Yeah. Kind of makes you want to notice what you think, too. Yeah, like,
does, eh?
whoa, what song am I singing today? That's coming through. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Yeah. Ah. Well, and it's so fun that you mentioned that because Sarah Lynn and I have shared together where I've done silent toning, which is another thing that we'll explore in the workshop, which is actually very intentionally emanating tones, but just not making it through your voice, right? So that's super cool. Yeah. But yeah, like look at what's
really powerful.
Very powerful. And then you realize that everything has a tone. I love what you just brought up too. Like our thoughts have tone, they're vibration, right? So there's sound to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ones that come into our head that maybe aren't really ours. Yeah. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Talk about.
Love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. I love it too. Yeah. Talk about exploring the quiet and the sound in a new way. That's pretty amazing. Anybody else have a question? Even if your hand's not up, if there's anything like that's come up for you or that you just would like to, say or I like to just check in every now and again.
Hi, Christine. It's Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
How are you?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm good. I have a question. Mine seems to kind of want to come more from my gut than my throat. Is that?
Ooh, wow.
Am I doing it wrong?
Congratulations, actually. That's super awesome. So thank you for that question because, yeah, one of the things that we learned so the workshop will cover both kind of energetic portions, which we've been talking about a little bit now, but also like the physical aspects of singing and how to make that easy for you and free and be what you're interested in experiencing. So really, ideally, which is what you just brought up, the throat is just simply, it's just like the cylinder that the sound moves through. It's not doing it. I mean, it is in the sense that the vocal folds are in there and they sit in this little inverted V. And when you make sound and you talk and you sing, they vibrate and they come together, right? But that's just because the air is passing through them and you're engaging them. But where all the power comes from, really where all of the direction, all of the juice, and all of the energy, it all comes from really low in the body. It comes from below your waist. I mean, that's actually where the power center of the breath and the breath, what we call breath control, and I don't really like the word control, but like breath management as you sing, it all comes from in the gut, like really the low belly, like Buddha belly.
Okay.
So yeah.
I thought I was doing it wrong. I was like, this is weird. It doesn't feel, it's not coming from.
You're just miles ahead already. Yeah, you're already ahead. That's awesome. Yeah, great.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have a question or something that you noticed? Nice deep breath. That feels so good. Okay, cool. And if something comes up, you can raise your hand. So that's pretty cool.